When you think of living a Torah life, what comes to mind? Keeping Shabbat, and keeping kosher, daily prayer, Torah study, all essential. But are they the ultimate goal of the Torah's vision? This week's parasha, Lech Lecha, challenges us to think bigger, much bigger. When God says to Abram, "Go forth from your land, from your birthplace, and from your father's house," he's calling him for a promise as well as a mission. "I will make of you a great nation, and you shall be a blessing. Through you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed." But what does it mean to become a great nation? And how does that make us, the descendants of Abraham, a blessing to all humanity? To answer that, I believe we need to understand the difference between the concept of peoplehood and of nationhood. Peoplehood refers to a shared cultural, spiritual, and historical identity, a collective bound by faith, memory, and destiny. Nationhood, however, is something more, a political and territorial identity defined by sovereignty, governance, and land. God's promise to make him a great nation, therefore, required two things: descendants who become a people, and a land where that people can live by God's laws, shape a society, and a nation. The story of the Torah, therefore, unfolds around these two promises. By the beginning of the book of Exodus, the Israelites have multiplied. The great nation begins to form. Then comes the second part. God says, "I will bring you up out of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites." From Sinai to the wilderness and finally to the edge of the promised land, everything in the Torah is moving toward that goal, building not just a people, but what will soon become a sovereign nation, governed by the laws of the Torah in the land. And the Torah's commandments themselves reflect this. So many mitzvot, from the sabbatical year to agricultural tithes, from charity to warfare to justice, even the festivals, all assume life in the land of Israel. But it's not just some of the mitzvot. The Torah in Deuteronomy says, "See, I have imparted to you laws and rules as the Lord my God has commanded me, for you to abide by in the land that you are about to enter and occupy." In other words, here we're told that all the mitzvot are meant to be fulfilled in the land. So how does this relate to God's promise that Abraham will become a blessing to all humanity? The Torah says, "Observe these laws faithfully, for they will show your wisdom to the nations, who will say, 'Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.'" When the nations of the world witness the justice, compassion, and moral wisdom of Israel living in the land and guided by Torah, they'll recognize its truth and aspire to follow its example. In this way, the Jewish nation becomes a source of blessing and moral light to all humanity. A Torah-observant life, then, is not limited to the private sphere of the home or to the life of the community in the diaspora. It is also, and perhaps primarily, about how we live as a sovereign nation within the land. Thus, while we have not yet fully realized the Torah's vision in a modern state of Israel, that does not absolve each and every one of us from striving toward it. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more insights into the parasha. Shabbat Shalom.